Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a tier list of all Generation 1 Pokemon. And this is going to be based off competitive, this is going to be based off stats, this is based off my preference if I use them in the game, and their design and stuff like that. So if you don't like my opinion because one Pokemon's better than another in competitive, it's not down to that, so don't worry about that. So if you do enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers at the end of the year, and 98% of people who watch these videos aren't subscribed, and any help would be greatly appreciated. And let's get straight into the tier list. So these are the tiers we've got, and we've got 6 tiers technically. So we've got Amazing, which is for the Pokemon that are fantastic, they're brilliant, you use them all the time. Good, says in the name. Average, meh, and never use, like Pokemon that I would straight up never use in a playthrough. And then we also got Mega, because I don't really want to be ranking the Mega Pokemon because I never use the Mega Pokemon. But I will be giving my opinion on their design and stuff like that, but they just won't be ranked. And we've got 100, I would say 151, but probably around about 160 odds, including the Megas, to rank today. So it's going to be quite the long video. So we're going to get straight into it, and Bulbasaur, amazing. I love Bulbasaur, he's so cute, he's brilliant. I quite often choose Bulbasaur when it comes to a playthrough. Ivysaur is good, and Venusaur I do think is amazing. I love Ivysaur's design, and then obviously just chuck the Mega straight there. When it comes to the Mega though, I do think he's quite cool. I don't think he's the best one though. I think he's the second worst out of them. I'll get into that in a second now. Charmander, amazing. Charmeleon, meh, don't like Charmeleon. I wouldn't put him in never use because you have to use him to get to Charizard, who is, let's be honest, amazing. But Charmeleon is definitely my least favorite out of the 9 starter Pokemon, like including obviously evolutions. Mega Charizard X, I'm going to put him in Mega obviously, but he would put in amazing. He is so perfect, I love him. He's fantastic, and then Mega Charizard Y is my least favorite Mega out of them all. I think he just looks average, especially when you put him next to X. Squirtle, straight up and amazing. Wartortle's average, whilst whilst Blastoise is good. I would definitely put Blastoise. Oh, I don't know. No, Blastoise got going amazing. I love Blastoise. Mega Evolution, he's alright. Caterpie. When it comes to Caterpie, I'm gonna put him in good. He's one of my favorite Pokemon. Metapod, meh. Not really too bothered by Metapod. He doesn't bother me. Butterfree is good. I love Butterfree. Weedle, never used, never for Kakuna. Beedrill, I would put in average. He looks cool. He does look really cool. Mega Beedrill's petrifying though, so I will say that. So I quite like Mega Beedrill. If I was doing a playthrough, I would use Mega Beedrill. If I didn't have to go through Weedle and stuff like that. Pidgey, everyone loves Pidgey. Pidgeot, I think the whole line just go into good. I don't think they're amazing to say, but the whole line will go into good. I quite like the Mega Evolution. I think it's I don't think it's the best Mega Evolution that's in the game. I think it's a pretty decent Mega Evolution, but I won't go much into that. Rattata and Raticate, never use, never will use. I understand he's got Super Fang Raticate, which is a really good move, but no, not really. I wouldn't use. Spearow, I would put into meh. Whilst Fearow, I would put into average. I'm using Fearow in my Heart Gold playthrough because I always use Pidgeotto. So I thought, I'm going to use Fearow, give it a switch up. And he's actually good. Ekans and Arbok. Where would I put you? I don't know, really. It's kind of stuck between these two. I never use them, but I'm going to put them in there. I never use them, but they're not bad Pokemon. I quite like the design. I wouldn't use them, though. So I quite like the design, but these guys don't really like the design. Pikachu has to go into amazing. Raichu has to go into good. Like I said, we're not going off like competitive of how good they are in the game. Like, would I use them? Well, I wouldn't use Pikachu, but would I use Pikachu? That's the question. I don't know if I'd use Pikachu. I think everyone at one point used Pikachu, so I'm gonna keep them there. Sandshrew, I think the Sandshrew line's really good. Average. Sorry, I quite like them. I never really use them. Nidoqueen. Nidoran female and the Nidoqueen I'm going to put into average, whilst the male form I'm going to put into amazing. I always use the male form. I just much prefer his design. I think he's so much cooler. And then I like every playthrough, like Let's Go, I always use them. I've got such a good team in Let's Go. I believe I'm used. I don't think I'm using him for Heart Gold because I always use him. But such an amazing Pokemon. Clefairy and Clefairy, I'm gonna put into. It's not Clefairy. I'm gonna put into. Is it Clefable? See, I'm rusty. I'm gonna put into Meh. I think their design's quite cool, but I wouldn't use them. They're quite useless Pokemon. especially for a playthrough. Vulpix and Ninetales. Ooh, I love their design. I'm going to put them into amazing, because if I haven't chose Charizard, I would definitely use this. I would definitely use these two. I don't use them in Hard Gold because I always choose Cyndaquil. I love Cyndaquil. But yeah, Jigglypuff I'm going to put into, based off its design, I'm going to put Jigglypuff into average. I love Jigglypuff's design, but I don't like the Pokemon itself. And Wigglytuff I'm going to put into meh. Might even drop it down. I'm going to drop it down to, I don't know. I'm going to keep it there. I don't mind its design. Zubat. I'm going to put Zubat, and this is going to be quite a controversial one. I'm going to put the Zubat line into Golbat. I'm going to put it into meh, actually. And hear me out. I'm going to put it into meh because before it gets Crobat, it's average at best. I understand it can learn Confusion, which it's good, don't get me wrong. But I think you can build a better team. If you have Crobat, it's straight up into good. Crobat would probably be an amazing. I'm not a big fan of these two though. I'm going to put Zubat above because I do prefer Zubat over Golbat though. Oddish line. I quite like the design of Oddish. I hate Gloom. But Volplume I'm going to put into... Not based off because they're quite bad. They're quite shit. But I really like the design. So I'm going to keep them there. Paris and Parasect can go straight down into never use. Legends Arceus, they were the worst Pokemon. They were the worst thing to ever exist. They were the worst thing to ever exist. So they can go straight down there. Then we'll talk about them. Venonat and Venomoth. I'm going to put them into meh. I never really used them. They're bug types. I don't think you can have a good bug type realistically. Diglett and Digdug Trio. Average. They're alright. I mean, you don't use them in a playthrough realistically. There's better ground types, but I quite like the design. They're quite funny. They're quite cute. Meowth and Persian. Meowth, I'm going to put into average. I'm going to put Persian into average as well. I quite like the design. Persian, obviously Giovanni's Pokemon, which just makes it look badass. And then Meowth, obviously being Team Rocket. I think it's cool. Okay, Psyduck has to go into good. Everyone loves Psyduck, while Golduck could go into average based off one thing and one thing alone. Psyduck, obviously, will, like, in the anime, he's so funny. But even his blue shiny is beautiful. Then Golduck, I just don't like his shiny. I know we're not basing it off the shiny, but ultimately, yeah, this is what I want to base it off. I'm just going to be biased. I'm not a big fan of Golduck. Primeape and Mankey. I find these guys quite annoying. Mankey can go into meh, but I quite like Primeape's design, so you can go into average. I quite like the design, and they look cool. Mankey is a pain in the ass. Growlithe and Arcanine go straight up in amazing. If I'm not using Vulpix, I'm using these guys. It depends on the playthrough I want, because like it always tosses between these two. If I haven't chosen obviously Charmander, it's always tossing between these two. I don't think there's a better fire type in Generation 1 full stop than those three. So I mean, I don't think there's any more. Okay, we've got a few more fire types. Poliwhirl and Poliwrath line. I don't mind them actually. I'm gonna put them in average. I'm gonna put you there. I'm gonna put you down in meh. I'm gonna put you up here. Only because I used to use them. I did used to use them, but I haven't used them in a very long time. A water fighting type's not a terrible typing though. So I don't think it's terrible. Abra. Abra I'm going to put into meh because it just flees all the time. But then his evolutions I'm going to put into good because they are fantastic Pokemon. They are absolutely fantastic Pokemon if you can catch them. I'm even tempted to put Kadabra up into amazing because he's just so brilliant. Because we've got Abra, Kadabra, Alakazam, sorry, not Kadabra. Mega Alakazam, he's a Mega type. Quite like him. I like Spoons. Spoons around him look really cool. He's probably one of my favorite Megas, to be honest with you. The Machop line. Machop is meh. Machoke, average. Machamp is good. I quite like his design. So it's kind of like he gets better as you go up. What do I? If you can get, I'm gonna put him into average because you have to trade to get him, and it is just a pain in the ass. I would much rather have a Nidoking than a Machamp, because Nidoking can learn fighting type moves, and it's just so much easier to. It's just a lot easier to have. Bellsprout, the Bellsprout line can all go into. I'm gonna put a Victory Bell into never use for one reason only. Especially in Generation 2. I know it's Generation 1 games. Shut up. This is my point. I'm making my point. you can only get a Leaf Stone, especially in Hardcore Stone, when you get back to Generation 1, and it's a pain in the ass to get. So Victory Bell's just not available for the whole game. And it's quite hard, but they're not good Pokemon even Generation 1. They're just not good Pokemon. There's such better grass types. Like, I would much rather choose Bulbasaur way over these. And then I think later on then, I think you have better choices when it comes to grass anyways, if you choose the likes of Charmander or Blastoise. And even in that sense, you don't even realistically need a grass type on your team. Tentacool and Tentacruel. They're alright. They're average. I think that might cause controversy. I know a lot of people love these Pokemon. But they're average. They're okay. They're not great Pokemon. I prefer them over the new forms in Scarlet and Violet. I'm not a big fan of Toedscool. Not my favorite Pokemon. When it comes to the Geodude line, Geodude is average. Same for you. And then Golem is amazing. I love Golem. I love his design. I think his design is absolutely fantastic. If he wasn't a trade Pokemon, I'm gonna put him in good. Because if he wasn't a trade Pokemon, he'd definitely be amazing. But the fact you have to trade, and it's so hard to trade back when Generation 1 was out. Especially even at Heart Gold, like it was hard. I had to trade my brother. Now it's easier, don't get me wrong. Like you've just got on my mate, you can just trade that way. So it's not too bad now. But back in the actual Generation 1 days, pain in the ass. Ponyta and Rapidash. Rapidash. Meh, they're not good. Like, even in Generation 4, like, they're the only, if you don't choose Chimchar, they're the only fire types you get, especially Dino Pill, and you are just left disappointed with how bad they are. That's all I have to realistically say about them. They're a bit shit. Slowbro, Mega Slowbro, we're going straight down there. We're not ranking. I do like his design, his design's very cool. But Slowbro, we'll put him in average. I like the design, but Pokemon-wise, I mean, actually, you can put him up there, because a Water Psychic type, if you don't choose Squirtle, if you choose the likes of Charmander or Blastoise, you do have a good Water-type Pokemon there, with Psychic abilities as well, which is quite good, quite handy to have. So I'm going to put him in good. It's just a pain to evolve. Magnemite. Oh, see now, I love Magnemite. Magnemite can go straight up in amazing. Magneton can go into average. And then if Magnezone was here, straight amazing, but he's Generation 4, so we're not talking about him. But though I quite like those two. I even got a shiny one, and I absolutely love it in Pokemon Go. Moving on. Farfetch'd. Good Pokemon. I have nothing else to say really about Farfetch'd. I quite like Surfetch'd. But Farfetch'd on his own, he's quite a good Pokemon. I quite like him. I don't like you guys. Rogue Trio. Not Rogue Trio. Dubird, I can't remember his name. Jump. Just never used. I quite like it. I don't mind him. I can't remember his name though. I don't remember his name. And it's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't remember his name. Seal! They're right. You never really use Seal. I don't think anyone's ever used him in the playthrough. Unless it's a Nuzlocke. Grimer and Muck. They're right. Their design's quite cool. Nothing really else much to say about these guys. The designs are quite cool. They're quite literally what they are. Like, their name is literally what they are. Like Muck, he is Muck. He's okay. Like, they're okay. They're not great. They're not bad. They're okay. Cloyster, and that evolutionary line. Meh. I'm gonna put you in meh. I quite like you, bro. You can go up into average. For no reason whatsoever. Moving on. Ghastly line. Ghastly, good. Haunter, average. Gengar, amazing. Everyone loves Gengar. Let's be honest, Mega Gengar. Mega Gengar's fantastic. He looks really cool. I love his shiny as well, the white. But Gengar is fantastic. If we were going off shiny Pokemon, he would probably be the worst, though. But the Pokemon design is brilliant. He's such a good Pokemon. He's a trade evolution, but I don't care. He still deserves his place in amazing for every reason. Onyx is meh. For a massive rock snake, he's quite vulnerable, which is quite disappointing. So he'll have to stay in meh. We've got quite a few to go through still, so we have to speed up a little bit. Drowsy's average, but Hypno is quite good. If you didn't get an exam or you didn't get Slowbro, I'm putting down the average for that reason. Put Drowsy down to meh. Like, he's not a bad psychic type, definitely not a bad Pokemon to have in your team. Krabby and Kingler, they ain't great. Kingler can go up into average, bro. Nothing they're terrible. Not the best water types you can have. But, you know, there's always better water types, especially in this game. Moving on to Voltorb and Electrode. Do you know what? I don't mind them. I do prefer the Hisuian forms. So I'm going to put them in average based on design. I do prefer the Hisuian forms. Especially prefer the Hisuian shiny, because the black is beautiful. The blue on them is beautiful, don't get me wrong. But I do prefer the black. Execute and Executor. Got there eventually. Meh. Grasp Psychic types, they're not terrible Pokemon. I quite don't mind actually. Into average, I do apologize for that. But ultimately, I just don't know. I get that weird feeling about them. They're a bit of a pain in the ass to get in the game. I think they're getting through the Safari Zone, which just annoys me. It's just they're not easy to get. They're not accessible. Cubone could go straight up and amazing. And Marowak could go straight into good. Cubone's just, both of the designs are really good. It's a bit dark, but I love the story about Cubone's skull. I think it's so grim and so gory for Pokemon. I think this is brilliant. They never do it. Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Hitmonlee is definitely my favourite. Hitmonchan's going to go into good, which is weird because out of the two sports they represent, I much prefer traditional boxing. But I much prefer the design of Hitmonlee. So it's a bit weird, but I do like Hitmonchan. Apart from that Pokemon Go event, which has just happened, which was shit. You had to catch a bunch of them and you just got a bunch of Hitmontops. No, terrible. Anyways, rant over. Licky Tongue. Just for his design, he has to go into amazing. Like, oh, I don't know what they were thinking. Is he Generation 1? Mad. I don't know what they were thinking though, making a Pokemon like him. Like, I didn't know he was Generation 1 though. I probably would have lost that quiz. Coughing and yeah. Oh, what's your name? I can't remember your name. Bollocks. You can go to average row. They're alright. Jesse and James, well, specifically James's team. Really cool. I won't lie to you. Rhydon and Rhyhorn. Rhydon can go into average. Rhyhorn can go into. Oh, I don't know. I'm probably average with his pre-evolution. They're good Pokemon. Don't get me wrong. They are really good Pokemon. But I would prefer Needlecake. Chansey can go into good just because based on the design. It's an egg holding an egg. That's all I have to say. Tangela, meh. Tangela go into never use. I never use Tangela. He's basically just there for me to farm XP. Honestly. Kazakhstan. That's a country. That's a country. Never used. Never used. I think it's a bit of it's a bit shit. The Mega Evolution's no, the Mega Evolution is terrible. No, it's literally just the child's grown up. No, that's terrible. Seadra and Kingdra. Horsey, sorry. So Horsey and Seadra. Kingdra comes later on. Horsey can go into. I like Horsey's design. Kingdra can go in there. You could stay there. You're alright. But Horsey's design's cute. Goldeen. Yeah, you could go down there. Useless Pokemon. Never use it. Same for you. Never use it in my life. Staryu. I do like Staryu. And Starmie. If I don't, another really good. This generation is so good for water types. Jesus Lord. Another really good water type to have, like especially with the Psychic. It's better than it's better than you. It is better because it's got like moves. I'm gonna move you down there. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna play next to your brother. So you can go there. But I use this for my Let's Go. Fantastic Pokemon. Mr. Mime. Meh. I know everyone loves Mr. Mime. I'm not a big fan of it personally. Cypher can go into. He's average. I quite like Cypher actually. Jinx. For the controversy, I made a short about it before and it did really well. So based off that, I'm gonna have to put it into amazing. The short did really well. I'm sorry. I got like 2k views. Electabuzz. I quite like. You're right. Yeah, you can go straight into good. Your shiny's pink. No, I know it's not based on shinies, but even the Pokemon design is quite cool. Let's be honest. Pinsir, average. It took me ages to get your Let's Go because I had the wrong type and I had to contact so many different people to get on. Don't like his design for the Mega Mode. Tauros, meh. Magikarp, straight into amazing. His shiny's gold for Christ's sake. Gyarados can go into goods. I like Gyarados. Magikarp is just, everyone loves Magikarp. It's so helpless. It's just a cute Pokemon. Gyarados is it's a water flying type. It's not a dragon type, which I think is stupid. I don't know why is it flying? It doesn't have wings. It can't fly. It just floats in the air. Like, give it levitate, fair enough, but it doesn't fly. Yeah, Mega Gyarados is cool though. Lapras, straight into amazing. Probably the best water type in the game, but the starter. And when I don't use it, quite a pain in the ass to get, but once you do get it, it's a brilliant Pokemon to have, especially with the ice types you can learn as well. Against Dragon. Ditto. Average. For Generation 1, I'm going to put him into Meh. He's really useful, don't get me wrong, when it comes to Masuda method, but for Generation 1, it wasn't there. Put him into Meh. Eevee. Adorable. Everyone loves Eevee. Vaporeon. Vaporeons. It's I think the weird people on Wattpad have ruined Vaporeon. Jolteon is good, and Flareon is alright. Porygon, meh. Don't really a thing to say about Porygon. Quite like Porygon, but there's nothing special about him. Omnimite and Omnistar. I like his design, but I don't like Omnistar's design, so you can go into there. Kabuto and Kabutops, the one you always choose. So I'm going to put him into Good. They are really cool. Aerodactyl, he's alright. He's okay. I quite like Aerodactyl. He's not terrible. Don't like his design for the Mega, but we don't have to talk about the Mega. Snorlax, everyone loves Snorlax. Straight into amazing. Like, he is quite literally just a big fat person. And it's brilliant. He just falls asleep. He has to eat double its body weight for him to go back to sleep, and he is what I want to be. Articuno, probably my favorite out of the three. I just love his design. I think his design's so slick, so cool. The ice. It's snowing today. It never snows where I'm from, and so it's just for that it has to go into amazing. Jolteon, I do like Jolteon, and then same for Moltres. Probably Moltres is my least favorite when it comes to the design, but I don't think you're average. I still like his design. Dratini straight up into amazing. Dragonair can go into Good. I like Dragonair, and then Dragonite, straight into amazing. Like, Dratini's cute, and Dragonair's just sick. Like, that's all I have to say. Dragonair is just a good in between. Realistically, you very rarely get a decent in between. Out of the whole thing here, there's only one in between, and that's Nidorino, which I probably should drop into that because he's okay. Like, he's forgettable. Mewtwo, everyone has to put Mewtwo up here, just because it's a simple fact he's Mewtwo. He is sick. Mega Evolutions, I'm good in my opinion. Mega Evolution, I think that's X, is shit. Mega Evolution Y is amazing. I love Mega Evolution Y. And I was gutted because I wanted Charizard if I could get out, and then vice versa. If I wanted that one, I had to get the shit Charizard. So I chose the good Charizard because the Charizard's so good. And then finally, we have Mew. And where am I going to put Mew? I'm going to have to put him in amazing just because he's the starter. He's the first Pokemon, kind of. Every Pokemon has genetics of Mew, and he's just so cute, and you can't not love Mew. So this is my tier list, and 151 Pokemon ranked. I don't know why I'm swaying this way. 151 Pokemon ranked, well, 160 maybe. And I think it's quite decent. If you do disagree, let me know in the comments below, and have a nice day. Goodbye.